homebrewers, and welcome to my channel. So today's video is based on you, the watcher. You watchy watchers. I get asked the question quite a lot about what happens if you don't have proper yeast, or you can't get hold of any of the yeast because you're in a country that doesn't allow it. So I have adjusted a few recipes so we can use just plain old bread yeast. Now, if you've seen my previous video using making ginger mead / ginger beer with bread yeast, that turned out really well. So I've adjusted a couple of recipes, which I'll be doing in a mini series, so you guys can brew using nothing but bread yeast. Awesome! So I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get on with it. I'm working on the cheapest ingredients I can find in the supermarket, because if that works, then whatever ingredients you use, the better the ingredients obviously, the better it will turn out. So I've got myself a pack of the cheap sultanas that I used in the sultana wine video, because it turns out you can ferment these, even though they contain oil. So I've went ahead, just to speed things up, I'm taking out 100 grams of sultanas from the bag and added in just enough boiling water so it removes the outside sugar and hopefully some of the oil. I learnt this in while making my sultana wine. It's best to do this stage first. We're going to be using the sultanas as the nutrient for our honey. The honey I'm using is, again, the cheapest honey I could get that was set honey. It is the one I've used in all of my other burnt and caramel mead videos, because it's not a very good honey for fermenting. It's got the sugar content. It doesn't really have the tasty flavors that you would expect with a nice mead. So caramelizing it actually makes it taste a lot better than it does just as is, as I've proven. I'm also going to be using some good old-fashioned baker's yeast, just bread yeast, just easy bread yeast. I've had kicking around for at least 3 years, because this is out of date by 3 years. I went and picked up good old 1 gallon water container, and I'm going to be flavouring this particular batch with a couple of sticks of cinnamon to make a caramelized cinnamon mead. Now, if you don't want to use cinnamon, you can go and pick up some of these flavourings, which I'm not sure if you can actually, just double check. No, it's got propylene glycol, approved flavourings, and water. I don't know what approved flavourings is, but it's flavourings. I got some coconut, so coconut and cinnamon, caramelized coconuts. Anyway, I'm getting off point. You can pretty much use any of these additives, any of these flavourings, which you can add in at the end. That way it doesn't interfere with fermenting. I'm probably going to play around with some flavourings just to see what it's like if you can ferment with them. Now, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to get set up and we're going to get started. Our honey has been heated through. Hopefully it comes out the jar easier. Should do. It has done every other time. It was like treacle the first time we did it. Oh, thicker than treacle. Cement. Get out of the way. It smells like honey. It smells like cheap honey. So get out. Well, okay. Could have been a little bit easier, but never mind. Obviously, you should use hotter water. There we go. No! So now we're going to caramelize this bad boy. There we go. And I'm going to change my spatula to a wooden spoon. Minus this bit that I'm going to eat. Very good for you. So it has been on for about 5 or 6 minutes, and it is starting to darken to look more like a golden syrup. That's the word I was looking for. So just as a bit of an experiment, I'm going to add in my cinnamon now, just to see if I actually get the flavours. Mainly because they're nice and big and chunky, they're not small particles, so let's see. And yeah, funny enough, it does smell wheaty, but it's starting to bring on a caramelly note, which is what we're after. Wheaty. I think that should be a word. If it's not, it is now. So I have rinsed these a few times with boiling water, and then I've just given them another little rinse just to remove as much oil off of these as I can. So let's give these a taste now. They're still sweet on the inside. They don't have sort of like the oily taste. That is why using the cheap stuff is, but it doesn't matter because pretty much all sultanas and raisins contain oil for some reason, unless you go to a health food shop, which would be a different video. So there we go, this is now calmed down, and it does smell sort of wheaty, and it is starting to change colour to a more golden colour, the foam on the top. More like golden syrup. That is the word I was looking for. Like a golden syrup. That's what I'm after. Not too, just a little bit. Have a cheeky vape while you wait. So anyway, put this down. Otherwise you won't be able to see what I'm doing. So we're nearly at the right consistency, the right colour. This foam, as you can see, I've got a spoon. It looks almost like golden syrup, as you can tell here, which is a lot different from our original very, very clear stuff. It's also lost that wheaty kind of smell, and it's kind of got a sweet smell now, which I believe is much nicer. Both in colour, appearance and smell. I mean, that's why we've been burning the honey. So there we go. So I've just literally boiled the kettle. I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to be adding in boiling water, not cold water, otherwise it flares up and goes everywhere. Be very careful because this is technically molten sugar. So I'm just going to grab the kettle. One freshly boiled kettle, and that's just pop a little bit in. See what I mean? Get ready to jump out of the way. Funny enough, the sugar, or the honey, in our case, is a lot hotter than the water we're adding in. And basically want to keep adding it until it stops going wild. Temperature's going down. We can add more and more water in. That's pretty nice. Right, it has stopped going nuts. More or less. Apart from when you stir it. Funny enough, you can start smelling the cinnamon more now. Obviously you need water to extract the flavour of cinnamon. Quite nice. And now because there's a bit more water, you can see it's taken on a lovely golden colour like golden syrup. So it's going to have, it's going to look quite nice. Fingers crossed. So to that I am going to add in my sultanas right now, and I'm going to boil it for a bit longer to extract the flavour of the cinnamon. And now because it's got water in it, it's not going to foam up as much. It's just like pretty much boiling an egg. When it comes up to a nice simmer, I'm going to simmer it for about 5 or 6 minutes. It won't caramelise anymore because, funny enough, it's not just the sugar now. Smells good. Just to release the lovely flavours of the cinnamon sticks. So yeah, going to carry on doing that. So I've left it to simmer for about 5 minutes, and it now has. Now it smells really good. Funny that, almost as if honey and cinnamon and sultanas are good mixed together. It smells good. I mean, it's not too overpowering. The cinnamon I'm using, even though it is quite strong, it is not fire. It's not fiery strong. It's flavorful strong. But still, I've got just standard ground cinnamon. You can use that too. Smells good. So it is currently a little bit too hot to put directly in our demijohn, which in our case is a 1 gallon water container, which this one is from Spa, because they just happened to have what I needed and I couldn't fit it on my bike from the supermarket, so thank God for the local shop. So yeah, basically this is already pre-sterilized and pretty much ready to go. So I'm not going to open it right now. I'm going to let this cool down by putting it on an ice pack or in the fridge or in my sink with some cold water to bring the temperature down just a little bit. So when we add it to our water, it's not going to warp the bottle, and yeah, we're going to be good to go. Awesome. So I'm just going to let this cool down for about 20 minutes and we'll be back. So it's been about 15 minutes and this is now cooled down more than enough. I ended up putting it in the sink in a basically cold water bath. So we're good to go. So I've got my demijohn, which I have not opened yet, and I've sterilized my side, my hydrometer, and I sterilized this as well just to make sure. So I'm just going to dump out about that much, and I can always top it back up again, and we're going to fill it with this lovely honey sultana cinnamon infusion. So let's just crack the seal, and yeah, just going to go pour some out. Wow. And we're back. Ta-da! So as you can see, I have removed probably a bit more than I need, and I've got my lovely thing here. Won't be needing this anymore. Ooh, that is good. Cinnamon, honey, because we didn't burn it too much, and caramel. Oh, it's heavenly. Can't really taste the sultana. So for simplicity, I'm actually going to be adding all of this stuff in, including the sultanas, just as is. In goes a chiquilita. And you can see that it's got a nice dark colour, which is what we're after, because some of the joy about mead is the colour aspect. So in it goes. In it goes. And we've still got all this to go. Give it a swirl. I'm glad I took out that extra bit. So in it goes. Minus these bits, which taste good. Real good. Those are tasty. Anyway, I'll be right back. Take that one off. So I'm going to test it with the hydrometer to see what the potential alcohol is. Now for those people that don't know, or are going to say, 990 is actually 0, not 1. So just so you know. Use this to stir it. You're not supposed to do that. Give it a spin. And it got stuck on the side. Of course it got stuck on the side. Oh, check that. So, it says here it was 9%, which is about 1.054-ish. Which is pretty cool. So, we've already added the sultanas minus the couple that I've dropped. So, now it's time to add the bread yeast and hope for the best. So, I'm going to use 1 spoon of bread yeast. Here it goes. Add the cap back on. That's why it lasts so long. And basically, this is it done. Now we could top it up very slightly, but 9% potential alcohol is pretty good. It'll probably end up coming out about 7, which I'm more than happy with. But 9% is roughly what it's going to be. So just double check. Oh yeah, no, 9%. So yeah. Basically, this should take about 2 weeks to finish, and then another week just to clear down, and hopefully this is going to be pretty damn cool. So if anything explodes, of course I'll keep you updated, But yeah, so that's us done. We have created another supermarket challenge, I suppose, using bread yeast to make hopefully something that's going to be really tasty by using what we know, information. So don't forget to rate, comment, like and subscribe, guys, and of course share, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.